person in our flag. That would be Jayne Binder. Please welcome Jayne Binder. How do you say your name? Bender. Oh, sorry. Okay, practical spiritual life, Jayne Bender.
I have always wanted to be self-realized, where 100% of me shows up instead of 70%. I would love to hear the angels sing and walk with God. I have collected hundreds of books of self-realized masters. And I still struggle to find out what the heck they are talking about. I have attended most of my life yoga ashrams, practicing pranayama with the Kundalini yoga people. I have attended miracle crusades, worshiping with thousands and thousands of people yearly. After standing on my head and doing all those breathing practices, I decided I was going to fast for 30 days. For spiritual purification. Oh, that was going to do it. Just on nutrient drinks. Well, I ended up pretty weak. And I was at the end of my hope when Dr. Claire showed up. And she told me about 3 essential nutrients in spiritual life. 1, vitamin G, gratitude. Well, it's easy to be grateful when everything's going well. But when life gets challenging, boy, am I sucking on that misery nugget. Does that taste good? Well, she told me start slow. Just think of one thing daily that you can be grateful about. And if you don't like somebody, think of one thing that you could like about them. Just one thing. Start slow, and then you can build. And if that doesn't work, you can always think about MAD, mutually assured destruction. That is the nuclear attack. Imagine you survive. No trees around you, no chirping birds, no spring flowers, just desolation. Well, that should up your gratitude meter. The second nutrient she told me about was happiness. When I think of happiness, I think of the dogs I see every morning. I think of children. They seem naturally happy. Oh yeah, dogs love those treats, and they love their walks. And children, they love their toys. But the one thing they most value, naturally, is the connection. It's the connection we have with each other. The third nutrient that she talked about was vitamin HU. Humility. Oh my God, is that a hard one to swallow? get really intimate with your evil twin. That's your lower nature. And you have to start self-correcting when it shows up. I found out a lot about that one summer. Right outside my office, bags of garbage showed up. And with it came swarms of flies. Oh, I was going to get to the bottom of the problem. I was going to find out who the culprit was. So I went through those bags, and sure enough, I found it was my neighbor. There were her receipts. So I stormed into her shop, and I berated her with great anger in front of her customers and her employees. She was devastated. After a while, I found out it was a homeless person that was throwing the garbage all over the place, looking for those bottles. And a few weeks later, after worshiping at a church service and praying, I ran into her face to face. I had tears. I was sobbing. And I begged her for forgiveness. I was lucky. She forgave me. And I learned about the depth of humility and the power of forgiveness. I'm not so desperate these days in my walk with God. It's easy. It's so simple. Happiness, humility, gratitude. You don't even have to pay Deepak Chopra $1,000 for a workshop. I am simply amazed by the continuing, expanding power